actually metal finished the vehicle. That means we actually re-sanded it. So a lot of these pockets where it had a little bit of rust buildup are gone already, as you can see. So tomorrow what we're going to do actually is put a rust removal compound on here, and then we're going to clean it with lacquer thinner. You can see, like, I know it has a few Bondo spots and stuff, but the whole car needs to be actually sealed and primered, so you don't get rust coming back. And then we could actually start sanding it with the block sanding it, and you can outline and see all the dents. And then we're going to start doing body work to it. So that's the next step is body work. But the whole thing is actually looks pretty nice. It's really smooth now. None of the gouges or nothing's in there. Went ahead and did all the door jambs. So, and then here was sanded. So, alright guys, check this out. I'm working on this Volkswagen Beetle. Doing all the body work to this first. So basically I'm going around it, and the major dents that you could run your hand through, you can feel them, well, you're gonna have to fix them. If you can feel them, you're gonna be able to see them. So basically what I've done so far is I've actually straightened all this whole hood out right here. It has, you know, it's very old, the metal, so it has a little bit of like indentations and all kinds of stuff. So whatever I can, I do metal finish, and I do pop it out and grind it down. But you are gonna have to fill in a little bit of it. So as you can see, the hood is mostly done. I got a couple of patches over here. This fender is actually going to be taken off, so I can actually fill this in and get this real nice and straight. So I got the roof. If you guys can see, the roof was actually very damaged. It didn't look like it, but this thing was pretty damaged. So I went ahead and I actually took out many of these dents that this thing had. Right here, this section, this gentleman was worried about this section right here. If you look at it directly right here in the back, what I did is I actually pulled this out so it actually lines up with the other side. So as you can see, this side over here, see, it's nice and round and the lines are good. So I'm going to match up this side. So basically that's what I'm doing all the body work, and the body work is done with 40 and then 40 grit, and then you go over it with 80 grit. So, and then you want a primer over that. We're going to use a really good primer that's really thick, fill in all those sand scratches and everything. So then when we go ahead and go over it with 320, it's going to have a brand new surface basically. All this stuff is going to get done. I'm actually going to take this deck lid off. I'm going to do all the inside. That's going to get sanded and primered. Over here on the passenger side, I haven't got to this yet, but I will today. This passenger side is actually not that bad. This door, there's not too much light, but this door is very damaged, so this one's going to need a lot of work. But overall, I've already kind of tackled the main spots. So we're going to do some more body work to this today, and then I'll show you guys a couple more videos after it's ready before I'm going to primer it. So, and it has the inside's all primered up, you know, so it doesn't have the initial rust. This edging primer. So basically, you can see where I kind of drawn it with pencils. You know what I mean? Just kind of outline stuff that I actually can see, so you don't forget where the dents are at sometimes. So that's basically it. What we're going to be doing. I'll have another couple videos to show you guys more progress on this. But this is going to be pretty much a show car, so the body's going to need to be real nice and straight. So you always want to use blocks. You know, when you're sanding down filler, you always want to, if it's a bigger spot, you use a bigger block. If it's a smaller spot, use a smaller block. You don't want to be using small blocks for larger areas, because you will get those indentations on the side and it won't look straight. You're going to end up putting filler and filler and filler. You're not going to know why you can't get it straight. It's because you're not using the right tools. So basically, blocks for this is a must, and it's not only square blocks. You actually have to use round blocks too. So this round block, you know, you put the sandpaper on there and it's the same thing. You go in the direction that it is at anything round. Like for fenders round, you know, of course you're not going to use a flat block. So you use a round block. So it's coming along pretty well. So by the end of today, there's going to be a lot more body work done to it. You guys will be able to see from the next video. Welcome back, guys, to Casillas Auto Paint. We're still working on this VW. As you can see, we skipped a couple steps. All the body work is done basically to it. It's already been sanded with 320. So now we're going to go ahead and actually wet sand with 600. So a wet sand by 600, I just do it by hand. I don't believe you need to use the block anymore because you're not going to mess up the shape of anything with 600 grit. Tip I could give you guys when you guys wet sand in your guys' water, just throw a little bit of soap in there. That way you guys are degreasing and taking off excess grease and stuff from your hands and everything else. So remember what color you're going to be painting your vehicle to. If it's a white color, you got to make sure everything is super clean. That's regarding anything anyways, any color but white, you'll be able to see everything. So you need to make sure when you're doing white cars, guys, or your light color cars, make sure the surface and everything is really nice and clean. No dirt, no smudges, nothing on there. Yo, welcome back to Casillas Auto Paint. As you can see, I'm still sanding this down, this Volkswagen Beetle. I just wanted to tell you guys a couple of the processes that we had to go through, especially if you're going to be trying to restore your old vehicle. I'll give you a lot of good tips right now how to do that the easiest way and not pretty much try to waste too many materials and just try to get the job done the first time right, and make sure that everything lasts a long time. So durability is one of them, and you don't want to be doing it 2-3 times. Make sure you get it done the first time right, and it'll save you a lot of money, guys. Check this out. So this Volkswagen Beetle, as you can see in some of the videos that we have posted there, it was sanded down all the way to the metal. Basically, it was metal finished. After that, we actually put a rust solution on the whole car so it could stop rusting, because it did have minor rust in certain spots. And especially for here, as you guys can see, the trunk bay, that's actually all primered up. I'm working on it right now, actually. It actually has this stuff on here, the POR 15 Stop Rust Kit. This works really, really good. This little kit gives you, it gives you a degreaser, so you can wash the whole surface, get all the, grimy stuff off of it, and then you can actually prep it. It has a prep spray on there. You prep it, wipe it down, takes away all the grease and also, and then you actually start applying it. And the way you apply that, guys, is with a brush. So I know you guys can't see this right now, but this actually looks really good. It's going to look just like the outside of the vehicle. So basically you apply it with a brush. Don't be trying to put super thick coats, guys. Put a minor coat on there, because you're going to put at least 2 or 3 coats. That's what I've noticed when you use that stuff. So actually when you set that stuff in there, you actually stop the rust. The rust is not going to grow anymore. And also what you've done is you actually provide a surface that you guys can sand and primer on. You know that POR 15, you guys can sand it down with 320 grit. You can sand it down and get it ready for primer. So that's a good tip. Make sure you guys have some, some rust stop kit when you're working on your guys' old cars. And then what you're seeing right here being done is actually it's being sanded with 320. It's just been primered, 3 coats of primer on here, guys. I'm getting all the little edges and stuff, and the rest of the body's gonna get block sanded. Make sure you use a block, guys. Make sure you use a block. Another thing you could think of, is underneath, like wheel wells and stuff, if you're not gonna be painting, guys, another thing, use that POR 15, and what you could do is, because that actually stops the rust, and then you could actually get some undercoating, and you could spray undercoating, like basically like right here, what you see done to it, right here, is undercoating. So it's gonna get resprayed again because I don't want the gray overlapping with the black. So we're gonna have it all black under here and underneath the wheel wells. So make sure you take your time, guys, and look over your whole car and everything before you start even spraying or thinking about spraying some paint. But I'll give you guys a rundown and I'll give you guys some more videos so you guys can check it out, the process going through. But actually the whole inside is getting done too. So inside of the door jambs has also been primered, the dashboard, the headliner, it's actually just this little piece up here. But that whole thing is gonna get done basically. So POR was actually added to back here also. The whole thing actually from here all the way through there had POR on it because the rust was so heavy on this. So, and actually we had to POR the bottom of this trunk lid so we could get the primer, actually the Bond well, because it actually kept, I primered it the first time, and what happened was I put engine primer and I cleaned it with degreaser, but I guess it was just too much rust in there, so it actually lifted up and was cracking the primer. So the primer wasn't bonding correctly. Did the same thing to the hood, guys. So as you can see, I have all the fairings. These are the front ones and the back ones right here. These also, guys, you know, for the tail lights, they also were POR'd. Way too much rust, once again. So when you're dealing with rust, guys, make sure you have a solution. Like the POR stuff comes in handy tremendously. Make sure you cover all you guys' your motor, your tranny. When you're trying to do something like this, you're gonna go for show, you might as well just take out your engine just how you see it here, and take out all your windows, guys, and take out all that stuff, because paint needs to be, primer and paint needs to be inside of all these seals. So you guys can re-gasket it and put all the stuff that needs to be on there later once you start building actually your car. But that's the rundown. Make sure you look over your car. There's a thing called guide coat, and it's basically, I know a lot of people would try to spray like maybe a little bit of black primer on there, so when you're sanding you can see where you're sanding. You don't no longer need to use that, guys. There's something that's actually kind of like makeup. You put it on there, and as you sand with the block, you can see where you're taking it off enough, or if you find a little dent, you'll find one. So, but stay tuned, and we'll be showing you guys a couple more things that gets done to this.